Hello, word fans, and welcome back to another episode of Hello, Word. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm thrilled to have you join me as we explore the fascinating world of English vocabulary. Today, we're diving into a word that you've definitely heard before, but maybe haven't fully mastered: deal. Now, at an A2 level, deal primarily means to handle or manage something. It's a verb, and it's incredibly versatile, showing up in all sorts of everyday situations. So, what does it really mean to deal with something? Well, it means to take action to solve a problem, manage a situation, or cope with a challenge. Think about it. You might deal with a difficult customer at work, deal with a leaky faucet at home, or deal with your emotions after a bad day. It's all about how you handle things. Let's look at some synonyms for deal. A close synonym is manage. For example, instead of saying I have to deal with this paperwork, you could say I have to manage this paperwork. See how the meaning is essentially the same? Another synonym is handle. So, I'll handle the arrangements for the party is very similar to I'll deal with the arrangements for the party. We can also use the word address, although this often implies a more formal approach to a problem. For example, the government needs to address the issue of poverty is similar to saying the government needs to deal with the issue of poverty, but it sounds a bit more serious. Another synonym is tackle. Think of a football player tackling an opponent. In the same way, we can tackle problems. For instance, we need to tackle this problem head-on is another way of saying we need to deal with this problem head-on. Now, let's switch gears and talk about antonyms. Words with opposite meanings. What's the opposite of handling or managing something? Well, one antonym could be ignore. If you ignore a problem, you're definitely not dealing with it. For example, he chose to ignore the warning signs is the opposite of he chose to deal with the warning signs. Another antonym is neglect. To neglect something means to not give it the attention it needs, which is the opposite of dealing with it. For example, she neglected her duties contrasts sharply with she dealt with her duties efficiently. We could also say avoid. If you avoid a situation, you're actively trying not to deal with it. For example, I try to avoid arguments is the opposite of I try to deal with arguments constructively. Another antonym is evade, which implies actively trying to escape dealing with something, maybe even dishonestly. For example, he tried to evade the question, meaning he didn't want to deal with answering it directly. Okay, so how can you use deal in everyday life? Well, you can say things like, I have to deal with a lot of emails today, or how do you deal with stress? You might hear someone say, that's a deal, meaning they agree to an offer. Or you might say, I can't deal with this right now if you're feeling overwhelmed. Here are some more example sentences. She's good at dealing with difficult children. The company has to deal with a lot of competition. He's learning how to deal with his anger. They had to deal with the consequences of their actions. Can you deal with this problem while I'm out? It's important to deal with your emotions in a healthy way. We need to deal with this issue immediately. How do you deal with a difficult boss? The doctor will deal with your injury. I'm not sure how to deal with this situation. We also see deal used in phrases such as make a deal, meaning to come to an agreement, or a big deal, referring to something that is important, or no big deal, when something is unimportant. So let's recap. Deal at an A2 level means to handle or manage something. Synonyms include manage, handle, address, and tackle. Antonyms include ignore, neglect, avoid, and evade. And we've seen how it's used in tons of everyday situations. I hope you found this episode helpful. Thank you for tuning into Hello, Word. I truly appreciate you spending your time with me as we explore the English language. Before I go, I have a small request. If you enjoy this podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. Your support helps others find the show, and it really means a lot to me. And now, for a little challenge, try to create your own sentence using the word deal in the comments below. I can't wait to see what you come up with. I'll be checking them out. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep saying hello, word.